All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move into who's who and what's new. And to remind you, like we do every single week, we do not talk about these headlines prior, day of. I go out, I find what's trending, I find what interests me the most or makes me laugh.
And something that our audience needs to know is that you're doing all the work. I actually don't. Yeah, you're into this,
Yeah,
so this is you.
so you get a little bit of the analytics from the one side because I research it, and then you get a little bit of the pure reaction from the other as he's seeing his stuff.
This is
for
the first time I've seen it.
So with that, here we go. All right, so the headlines this week, they have a theme, and I want you to be looking for it, and then we'll circle back at the end and see if you can't catch the theme. So
you said circle back.
Anyway, so all right, so first one, here we go. We are going to head over to Minneapolis. This is from the New York Post. Anti-cop Minnesota Democratic Party official left bloodied in violent carjacking, now calls for tougher crime laws. So I do feel my, if it's not the consequences of my own actions. Yeah. So I just want to say up front, I feel bad for this individual. She had her children, at least one child, I think, looks like two, a 4-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son in the car. She was attacked by 4 younger assailants is what she reported to the police. And they beat her up pretty good, left her with blood running down the side of her head. And then stole her car, So, I just want to say, I feel terrible for her. Nobody should have to go through that. But then on the other side of it, when a year ago, you were calling for the dismantling of the Minneapolis Police Department, I just want you, hello, pot, my name is Kettle. You are black. That's the type, right? Am I missing something here? Should I be...
Call me cruel, but I actually can't feel sorry for her or feel bad for her. This is the consequence of her own actions.
Right. And that's my point.
I mean, that's what you're saying, and I'm reiterating it. I can't feel bad for her. I really can't. This is what you get, and it's unfortunately it's the only way I think that they will learn.
Right. Right. Well, I guess sometimes you have to touch the stove to know that it's hot because I have younger children.
Good analogy.
I have younger children, right? So it's as they get close to the stove.
And you're getting everything that comes to you right now.
Well, that's the thing. And as they get close to the stove, you want to step in and you go, no, it's hot, right? But see, if you've never felt hot, if you've never been burnt, then me saying, no, it's hot, don't do that, doesn't mean anything to you. And I don't mean to run this metaphor into the ground, but it's important to understand that when you do have law and order standing in your way and police and law enforcement that protect you from the consequences of your actions every single day, then when people tell you, don't do that, it's a really bad idea. If there are no cops on the streets, you're like, yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I don't really hear what you're saying because, again, never actually touched the stove, never actually got burnt.
Well, in that way, I guess it would be a bad analogy because it's actually not direct, but it's an indirect consequence of their actions. Before, she never inquired the criminal effect, understanding what it was, because before she would have had the incident or the connection to it, the police would have removed the criminal element, therefore she not understanding what the police were doing that she never had to deal with.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so it's indirect, actually.
Right. So in the military, we call those second and third order effects. So it's the downstream ripples that you may not actually see based on the action that you take.
But the effect is directly there.
But it is there, right? It ripples out. Moving right along, we're going to go ahead and clip into this next one. So from Minneapolis, I take you to New York City. Eric Adams, who's the mayor of
Yes, I know that name.
Okay, Eric Adams, who's the mayor, says New York City's migrant crisis, everything's a crisis, you got to love it, will destroy the Big Apple, as he warns that 10,000 illegal asylum seekers, we can't call them illegal immigrants anymore, asylum seekers arrive every month will flood each of the 5 boroughs, the city we knew we're about to lose, he said. You got to love the Daily Mail there coming in with it's like, do you even need to read the article after that headline?
Has he quit calling it a sanctuary city yet?
No.
No, we are no longer a sanctuary city. The gates are closed.
Right.
Okay. I mean, that would help.
It would. You would think about it.
It would set a precedence, and then you could say we've had our fill. Go to Chicago.
Chicago's. Which I'm not even making a joke. That's what's happening right now. It is a giant game of musical chairs, and they are daggone near stabbing each other in the back to not be caught the last one standing. Is what's happening with this situation.
But nobody will say, "Hey, you know what? I'm just out of the game."
Not a single one of them is going to back up.
You two go play. Where I'm out.
Yeah.
I want to be out. I don't want this. That's why I'm asking.
Like
has he said we're not a sanctuary city anymore?
Like that Aboriginal man that just rocks that one song on the didgeridoo, man. Just wow, 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 wow. You're like, man, that's cool. Do you know any other tunes? Yeah. Let me drop this banger for you. Wow, 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 wow. You're like, oh, that sounds just like the last song, my man. All right, it's cool.
No, it had an actual little.
Yeah. That's such a dumb joke. Okay, anyway, let's see if you've heard about this one. And this one's the funniest story to me today by far. So, from the New York Times, how a company that makes gun safes angered gun owners. Are you up to date on the Liberty Safe controversy?
No, I mean, I've heard of Liberty Safes, but
okay.
What are they? How can this be controversial?
Strap in, dear viewer.
Okay.
I'm about to regale you with a story. So earlier this week, an individual who had attended the events on January 6th at the nation's capital had his house raided by the FBI. The FBI present and his crimes were the actions that he took at the Capitol on January 6th. All right, take that now, set it aside. All right.
Wait. His crimes were again?
His accusations why the FBI was raiding him were for his actions that he took at January 6th at the nation's capital.
Okay.
So I just want everybody to understand like who the guy was and what he did, right? So he's accused of being an insurrectionist. All right. So the FBI shows up at his house with a valid warrant, handcuffs him and his girlfriend who had recently suffered a miscarriage of a child. Very sad.
That's sad. Yeah.
Handcuffs both of them, tosses their house, calls Liberty Safe Company because the man had a Liberty Safe with weapons inside it. Calls Liberty Safe Company. And then now I'm going to tell the story from the side of Liberty Safe. So Liberty Safe thought it would be a good idea to go onto social media and make a post about what happened. So Liberty Safe basically said, on this date that the FBI was serving a warrant to this person, they called us and presented us with a valid warrant, at which point Liberty Safe decided to honor the warrant and provided the FBI with the backdoor code into our safe. Because, and they said voluntarily provided the information to the FBI so that they could get into the safe to serve out their search warrant. So Liberty Safe, again, might even be more Bud Light than Bud Light.
At this point.
So who do you think buys your safes? Liberty Safe. Also, if you make backdoor codes into your safes, Liberty Safe thought we wouldn't notice that.
Yeah.
What? So
man.
They are getting detonated in place. Might not be strong enough language to describe what is happening to Liberty Safe right now.
And rightfully
so. As their existing customer base is rapidly becoming not that.
Non-existent.
Yeah. It might just be yeah, like I said, even more Bud Light than Bud Light. And then I got one more for you here.
39.
30
let's
seconds.
Go.
All right. I don't know if you caught this one. Delta flight had to turn around to be cleaned after a, quote, medical issue, apparently involving a passenger having diarrhea. All the way through the plane.
This earlier.
So
I saw one of your little blurbs. You did a little blurb on this.
I did more than a little blurb, just like he
well,
did.
Just like what the guy did on the plane. That was more than a little blurb.
Yes.
I saw your heading on it, and I'm like, is this a joke? Is he's trying to be funny, or is this reality? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It actually happened.
Yes, to all those things you just said. All right, guys. If you guys like videos like this, make sure you follow, make sure you get subbed up. Listen, the algorithms, they do not like us very much. They're not going to help us. The only way that we're going to grow is if you guys share these video with a friend and help us grow the channel. Hope you guys are going to be sticking around for the keeping the main thing, and we'll see you over there.
And be sure to check out Christopher's shorts. Boy, that did not come out right. Anyway.
And with that, see you guys keep it the main thing.
See you later on the other side.